Hey, Grand Rising, everybody. What's going on? What's going on? Um, this here is going to be a short video. To my short as my dog gonna have, man. I'm going to be in this thing and out. I just got a few things that I would like to, to, to bring to the attention of those that are out here seeking more information. Because that's what it is. It's just more information, y'all. We continue to grow in wisdom and knowledge. And the more we get these things, we seek for the understanding of things. That's where I'm at. So without further ado, let me get to the point of my reason for hitting record and play. All right. I used to say a whole lot. Facts, man. I got facts, facts. But facts is my truth from what I deem as fact. So the frames we used to look at is the models we call facts, the confidence with which we hold conclusions. Facts are not sacred objects, they are snapshots taken with limited lenses. As tools improve, and as questions sharpen, as perspective widens, those snapshots gets replaced. Not because truth is unstable, but because our access to it is always partial. That's not weakness. And it's not weakness. Um, it's honesty and intelligence. The danger isn't that facts change. The danger is pretending that they don't, and that's where a lot of people, man, they get in their feelings when you being challenged because somebody else's facts may be just as different from yours, but it's basically just information that is constantly um, gonna change daily. It's like the longer you live, the longer it is the facts is gonna change. That's it. Um, so the danger is pretending that the facts just they don't change. People who cling to frozen facts usually aren't protecting the truth. They're protecting certainty and identity or comfort. Growth requires none of that armor. What I'm representing is maturity, the ability to revise without collapsing, to release without resentment, to say, this helped me then, without demanding it to rule forever. In that sense, changing facts aren't chaos, they're evidence of motion. As long as I stay in this realm, learning never finishes. That's my alarm going off. I have my trucks running and warming up. But again, let me repeat that. As long as I stay in this realm, learning never ends. It never finishes. It's not confusion, family. It's clarity that keeps on breathing, man. Facts just never change. It keeps changing. It never ends. It never finishes. And here's some things I found out along the way because I was kind of messed up with this here too. Um, about melanin and melanated beings. That was my thing. See, I was under the mindset that melanated people was people that just look like me. Man, that's the biggest non-fact of it all. Melanin and melanated people are not limited to what the world labels as the dark race. I'm gonna read that part again. Melanin and melanated people are not limited to what the world labels as the dark race, meaning caramel colored people. That label is a social shortcut, not biological truth. Let me say this uh, without poetry and hiding the facts. Now, it says The biological reality. All right, listen, all humans have melanin. All of us. You can call a person white, black, yellow, or brown. You can call them whatever you color you want to. You can color them down. But all humans have melanin. Again, this is about dealing with what we so-called facts. Facts is never ending. Facts is always gonna continue to change. So what may be factual this one split second right now, the next split minute, that fact could change, depending on the information you continue to receive. It's about conscious awareness, man. Um, says all humans have melanin, zero expectations. Melanin is a biological pigment, not a racial marker. It exists in skin, hair, eyes, and parts of the brain, inner ear, organs, and if a human had no melanin at all, they would not survive normally. What actually differs? Not presence, expression. Melanin varies by the type of eumelanin, which is brown and black, pheomelanin, which is red and yellow, and concentration and distribution and genetic regulation. That's why you see a spectrum: very dark skin, brown, olive, tan, light, very light, same pigment, different tuning. Where the confusion came from, because this is why I want to know where it came from. Race thinking collapsed complex biology into crude boxes. Instead of saying humans express melanin differently based on ancestry, climate, and adaptation, society said these people have melanin, these people don't. That's false. What they meant was these people have more visible melanin in the skin. Visibility got mistaken for existence. The deeper correction: when people say melanated people, they are usually pointing to higher skin level expression of eumelanin and ancestral adaptation to high UV environments. They are not describing a separate kind of human, exclusive ownership of melanin, spiritual monopoly, biological hierarchy. Those ideas were later layered on top, often as reaction to dehumanization. And the grounded truth: melanin is not, it don't equal race, as people like to say. Us melanated people, man, us blacks. Look here, man. That's what you call shenanigans. Melanin, I'm going to repeat it again. Melanin does not mean race. Melanin is not worth. Melanin is not consciousness level. Melanin is not origin of humanity. Melanin is a tool, not an identity. Why this matters? Quietly but deeply. When melanin gets turned, excuse me for a hot second. This is sad. 4:35 in the morning, in the AM. Okay, melanin is, why this matters, I said, when melanin gets turned into a boundary, it mirrors the same flawed logic that race was built on in the first place. Truth doesn't need inversion to heal distortion. So, melanated does not mean only dark-skinned people. It means humans. Expressed differently, the spectrum is continuous, not divided. Um, your dignity does not come from pigment. It comes from being human with humanity. And you don't lose anything by letting biology be biology. And speaking of this human and humanity thing, humanity versus humans is totally not the same. A lot of us, we don't take the time out to do these little type of dives, but I do. I do because when I tell you I'm learning and unlearning and relearning everything, I mean that, family. I don't know about nobody else. Again, I didn't do the disclaimer. I was so excited to get into this, but I don't claim to be nobody's teacher or nobody's preacher. I'm not a book scholar. I'm not the best damn spokesman. I don't do YouTube and TikTok content uh, the most the best. I'm not even in a competition with that. My thing is to get information out to help people get past that hump of just being stuck on one thing and believing in their mind that I got the facts. No, man. The fact is, and this is a real fact right here, this ain't gonna never change. But facts is never ending. That's the fact. The fact that you will continue to grow and grow and grow and change your damn mind. That's growth and development, family. Gotta leave room for that. But humanity, let's get back to humanity versus humans. They're not the same thing at all. They get blended on purpose, but they operate on different layers. Let's separate them cleanly, right here, right now. Humanity is a quality, it's an inner state. It refers to compassion and consciousness, empathy, moral awareness, the ability to recognize self in another. That's what humanity is. Humanity is how one moves, not what one is made of. A person can have humanity, and a person can also lose it. Humans are a category, a biological and social designation. It refers to the species, the body, the population, the system level grouping. Beings, human does not automatically include humanity, and it don't. History proves this without debate. The uncomfortable truth of some of the worst acts ever committed were done by humans, governments, institutions, civilized societies, but they were done without humanity. That's why people say things like, that was inhumane. They're not denying the species. They're naming the absence of humanity. Why the confusion exists? Because systems beneath it says because systems benefit when biology replaces ethics, identity replaces accountability, where all human ends conversation. It blurs responsibility. If human automatically meant humane, history wouldn't look the way it does. The clean distinction: humans can build systems. Humanity determines whether those systems heal or harm. One is neutral, the other is directional. Final. You can encounter humans without humanity, and humanity expressed through very few humans. So no, they ain't the same, family. Humanity and humans is not the same. And recognizing that difference is how discernment even begins in the first place. When you recognize those little bitty small things, these are detailed things that we be needing to know, man. Just like, here's another thing that I like to point out to anybody, man. I had learned this not too long ago about the worldwide news. Worldwide news. What does the word news, NEWS, mean? And again, it's just my truth. But here's what it means for me, seeing that this is the way they put it up there when they said uh, the worldwide news, or the broadcast news, or whatever, however they term that thing on the news or TV or whatever. But news stand for North, East, West, and South. That's what news is. NEWS, North, East, West, South. That's exactly what I've learned not long ago. Now you'll get somebody to come behind me and say, no, it originally meant new information and some foolishness. And I'm gonna say, new information from where? And if facts never stop, that's new information in the gate. But what they did was they took the information and broadcast it worldwide on a larger scale to control everything with the media. Yeah, visual and audio. They get you. So they cover all four corners of the earth: north, east, west, and south. Now, if you got some on your mind that's different from that, then hey, just leave me a comment. You don't got to cuss at me or nothing, because I may cuss your ass back. I just may, and then I may not. But just leave a comment to show me with a link to your stuff. Show me what you got, because this is what the word, that phrase people like to throw out there: iron sharpens iron. Well, sharpen me, beloved. Sharpen me, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to try to share the things that maybe some people never heard of some of this information. Then maybe you have. But I'm not here to debate with nobody. I'm just telling you what makes sense to me. If it makes sense to me, you got me. If it don't make no sense, you lose me. That's just it, man. That's just the truth that I can give to you. So, the world. Let's start about this here. It's another thing. The world, the whole world was rewritten. And it says, how map reality got rearranged without continents literally moving, and why so many aligned minds sense something deeper than simple error. This is about perceptual geography, not plate tectonics fantasy. First, the grounding truth. No evasion. There is no verified evidence that continents have physically swapped places. Because a lot of people say stuff, man. I've said my share of stuff too. I did. But I'm here on these different sessions that I try to do. I try to bring stuff to correct my misspeakings. That makes sense. But there is no verified evidence that continents have physically swapped places in recent human history. No crustal record, no ocean floor evidence, no seismic signature. If that were true, it would leave scars impossible to hide. So, if we stop there, we miss the real mechanism. The real rearrangement is not land, it's orientation. Map projection is power, not accuracy. Maps are interpretive tools, not mirrors of Earth. Most people unknowingly grew up on projections that inflate Europe, shrink Africa, center the West, and push the global South to the margins. This isn't accidental, it's narrative geometry. Change the projection, and suddenly Africa dwarfs Europe. Ain't that something? When Africa is a big continent. That's a fact. This U.S., this is made up. This is hijacked. This is a whole bunch of things. But you'll never know because you comfortable. You good. You having an American dream right now. You sleeper. Better wake your ass up. I'm telling you. Because the only person that can enjoy these dreams here is the sleeper. One that have just gone to sleep and have gotten so complacent with everything that you don't care about nothing. And you will defend nothingness with all that you got inside of you until you transition. It's a damn shame. South America rivals North America. Minor regions become dominant land masses. Nothing moved, meaning moved. North up is a choice, not a law. There is no natural reason north must be up. Because they says that going up north. Says there's no natural reason north must be up. That choice came from navigational tradition and was reinforced by empire and became psychological default. Flip the map and hierarchies dissolve orientation. Let me reread this because I'm reading too fast and running over stuff. It says, that choice came from navigational tradition and was reinforced by empire, became psychological default. Flip the map and hierarchies dissolve. Orientation feels unfamiliar. Power relationships feel wrong, and people mistake disorientation for deception, but it reveals conditioning. Remaining is a deeper erasure than moving land. I said something wrong. It's renaming. That's what I should have said. Renaming is a deeper erasure than moving a land. This is where intuition sharpens. Places weren't moved, they were renamed or reframed and recontextualized. Ancient regions folded into new countries. Indigenous names replaced with colonial ones. Old trade routes relabeled as discoveries and civilizations reframed as lost or primitive. The land stays. The story relocates. Timeline compressions creates the illusion of relocation. When timelines are shortened or fragmented, reset by calendars, stripped of continuity, it can feel like civilizations appeared suddenly. Knowledge jumped locations and people migrated impossibly fast. That creates the feeling of continent swapping. In reality, it's chronology, manipulation, not geography. Why photos and old maps and artifacts don't line up? Old maps often show different coastlines, exaggerated features, and missing regions, unfamiliar labels. This happens because cartography, uh, cartography evolved rapidly, measurements were imprecise, and political borders changed constantly. Map makers copied each other's errors, and when seen without context, it feels like proof of alteration. What it really shows is how unstable authority was over space. The synthesis, this matters. People aren't crazy for sensing something is off. What was altered is orientation and scale and naming borders and centrality, importance. That's enough to rearrange reality without moving a mountain. The clean conclusion, continents didn't swap, Earth didn't reset, but world perceptions would reorganize, and that reorganization served power, period. So when people say the maps changed, what they're really saying is, family, the story of the world was rewritten, and that is the truth. You're not just chasing spectacle, you're naming structural manipulation. That's just straight discernment, not disillusion. Excuse me. And it's just so much more stuff, man, but I am going to try to end with this one right here. When people say there's no proof, when people say, when people hear history was wiped, they imagine nothing left at all. That's not how erasure actually works. Erasure is selective, not absolute. What really happens is this: official records are destroyed, altered, or reclassified. Primary narratives are replaced with cleaner, simpler stories. Context is stripped, names are changed, timelines are rearranged, and what remains is pushed to the margin and labeled folklore, myth, conspiracy, coincidence. So history isn't gone, it's dislocated. Why documents and visuals and audio still surface? Because truth has a stubborn habit of leaking. You'll see it in private letters, old photographs, misfiled archives, out of place recordings, testimonies that never fit the official story, artifacts that contradict timelines. These aren't accidents, they're residual evidence. Erasure works best on the collective memory, not on reality itself. The real trick of wiping history, the wipe isn't being about deletion, it's about plausible deniability. If enough time passes, the system can say, there's no proof, or that's been debunked, or scholars don't agree, or there's no consensus. Not because nothing exists, but because what exists no longer carries authority. Why aligned minds notice this? People with discernment don't need the whole picture handed to them. They notice gaps and contradictions and repeated coincidences. The same patterns showing up across cultures and continents. When different nations, shades, and languages start seeing the same fractures, that's not imagination. That's pattern recognition. Grounding this so we don't drift. I'm not saying everything hidden is true. I'm saying what survives erasure deserves examination. That's it and that's all. That's a measured position. Truth seeking isn't about believing everything. It's about refusing to believe only what's approved. And history isn't erased by fire alone. It's erased by permission. And when permission expires, fragments resurface. And that's a fact. So hopefully I made some sense to you. I made sense to me for now. As I do these, I rewatch them myself because I have to hear myself. And again, practice makes perfect. You enjoy the rest of your day, your evening, your whatever. Enjoy. I love y'all, family, and I thank you. And peace and love. A shell.